Now, I've got 6:30 and we've got a quorum, so maybe we could get started. Not that I don't want to wait for Billy or Ed, but I think we can kind of get started if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, sounds good.
All righty. If I screw up somewhere along the line, Carol, make sure you tell me. Everybody had a chance to look at the minutes. I hope that Dan sent out.
I just had one change near the bottom, right before it says discussion, putting a dock box. Shouldn't that be a lock box?
Yep. Yes, it should. That's my marine industry background. Sorry. Dock box, lock box. They could be the same thing.
Good.
Where are we talking about?
Right before it says discussion, the line above that, consider for future agendas, it says dock box, it should be lock box.
All right.
That's the only thing I saw.
Well, and I don't want to pick on Dan, but the only other thing would be, I am Irish, but I'm also half Scottish, or a little bit of Scottish too. So it's MAC instead of GRE. But that's quite all right. It's not a big deal.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Yeah. Well, anyhow. All right.
David,
You know what we forgot to do then, Michelle? We forgot to put that on to vote to approve the minutes.
I did?
I just noticed that. I don't see it anywhere
No, whoops.
on today's agenda.
No, it should be, yeah, it should be.
Should have been number one, but that's my
Sorry.
fault too for not catching that earlier.
No,
But if everybody feels okay with that, and has looked at the minutes, want to make a motion to accept the minutes from December 13th.
I moved to accept the minutes.
Do we have a second?
second.
All
I
right, good.
second.
Is everybody okay with those couple of little corrections we had, the lock and then Mac instead of Mick? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, number one, discussion DEM grant for repairs of the tennis court surface and status of installing lighting. I did get to the town hall today, but didn't run into Mr. Mushin. So, Mr. McHugh, at this point, do you have any information from the town council? Have they heard anything?
No, the award's going to be the end of February.
The awards comes the end of February, okay. So other than that, I don't think we need to worry about that too much until we get it. And Richard, we're obviously very glad to have you on, because if we do get this grant, there's, your background with that. And the same thing with Ed would be very, very helpful to, make sure we get that done correctly and get a good job with it. So again, good to have you.
Great.
All right.
One moment for recording purposes, Patrick. You said that was in early February, or was it February 1st, the announcement date for that?
I don't have the exact date, but I can look it up.
Early February. No, early February.
I'll get you the exact date.
Just put down February, Dan, because we can deal with it at the next meeting anyhow.
Yeah, just put it February, don't put earlier or anything.
Okay. All right, number two, discussion on container for the back of the shed. The maintenance shed has been fixed. There was discussion about putting a shed back there, a container similar to what they put with the pickleball one, to help out with any materials that we might need to get for other activities going on where they couldn't get into the shed because of the water and all that kind of stuff. So any feedback on that from anybody?
Yes, Mr. Matt, Carol just texted me and asked, she doesn't know if you can hear her or not, but she would like you to state who was at the meeting vocally.
Oh,
here.
all right. Oh, I'm sorry. Present at the meeting. I don't know why I didn't get that, but. All right, present at the meeting, Michelle Stecker, Dave McGregor, Richard Ross, Dan
Here.
O'Connor, and Rita Kennahan. And the liaison from the town council, Patrick McHugh.
The only thing on the box behind the shed is what I can tell you is monies were approved by the council. So I would imagine you leave it up to this committee if they want to go through with that, what it looks like, et cetera, for approval, submittal to the council.
were we thinking a similar one to what they did with the metal one for the pickleball? Pat, I do need your help with that one.
I'm sorry. You know, whatever you guys want, really. I mean, if you're asking my opinion, yeah, that would be, you know, I think that would be
And I think
The
that's
one-
good too, because it's sturdy enough that it wouldn't, and then it's, if we ever had to move it again, we're not connecting it to the building. So there's no more extra maintenance involved there. So if that's been approved by the town council, then I would like to take a vote that we support that. So if anybody wants to make that in the form of a motion,
I move that we use the container behind the shed that is similar to the pickleball container.
I second the motion.
any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
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 I,
All right, number 3, review and vote on sign design and wording at the Dunberry Brook Trail entrance. Now, there's been discussion about that for many, many years, long before I think any of us were on the committee. I'm not quite sure about that. Obviously, when the whole dedication went through for that whole area, there was a discussion about putting a nice sign up saying, welcome to, Little Compton Rex area, whatever, designating the names of the different memorials that were there. One for the track, one for the soccer field, one for the tennis courts, and make it look kind of nice. Using Richard's thing, the new sign that they put on the land on Peckham Road, something similar to that. There's always been a discussion about exactly how it should look and the location. We have tried to get the Conservancy to move their sign down closer to their area. But if you notice that the town parking lot now, the town crew has put in some nice stones instead of the telephone poles. So maybe somewhere right there where the pavement used to be might be better, because that's as people are coming in from either direction, they would see the sign immediately, and there'd be an indication as to, like, the Hayes soccer field and the track and the tennis court. So I guess the discussion here would be, what should be the wording be on that? Now, I haven't thought about it today. I looked at it today. Ed was on the committee when that was first set up. I came on after that. Tom Grimes, who left us last year, obviously Pat, and a few others. So I didn't know if it was best that we just ask them for what they'd like to have on it, and then we bring it up the next meeting and and then we can figure out how we want to design it with help from Richard or anybody else. Because to me, I look at it this way, that Crow crew that was on the committee then, which was Billy and a few others, they were the ones that got the thing going. Maybe their wording would be better than something that we came up, or if anybody's got a better idea.
So will we put their names on it? Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, there was discussion, Michelle, at the time, would it be, like, it would say, welcome to Little Compton Rex Field. I forget exactly how they put it, but then would say the Hayes soccer field. And maybe you'd have an arrow pointing to the Hayes soccer field. Then you'd have one facing to the track, and then you'd have one facing to the Jim Woodell tennis court. So that just kind of, and those names would be on that board. Not nothing, just because it was done well, and the town funded it all, through grants and that whole crew, and just put it up that way. So I can't remember exactly how they want it, but I wouldn't mind, because I will see Tom Grimes this week. I obviously see Patrick quite a bit, talk to Ed, those three, and anybody else that was on the commission. Guys, what were you thinking? Give us an idea, and we can pass it at the next meeting, and then try to get what it would cost. All right, Mr. McHugh, go ahead.
Yeah, real quickly, I know we discussed this. The idea was for a sign that said Hayes Field, and it talked about Jim Hayes and a little bit of the history of the field. And same thing with Veterans Field. Same thing with Wardell, Jim Wardell, the tennis court. And the walking track is named for
Darryl Harvey.
Darryl Harvey. So if you just kind of put that together, you've got these four people, a little description about them, a description about, the tennis court, and some history about it. And also there's a history about Little Compton, a short history of Little Compton, and especially that area there. That is really all. And the council was really pleased with that idea when we presented it to them. and they've been expecting this for a while now. So I think, Mr. McGregor, a suggestion, maybe you appoint, you do.
We lost you, Patrick. Hi, Ed.
He's still talking.
There's not many times he doesn't talk.
Bunch of stuff about Mr. Hayes. Am I cutting out? Is that it?
Yeah,
You can cut
Yes.
up. That's right. Keep going. I have an idea where you've been. Go ahead.
You know, the Harringtons have a lot of stuff about Mr. Hayes and what he did for the fields. There's a lot of information there. And Darrell Harvey, some people could talk about his family and what he did. So I think those would be the scaffolding for it, if you will.
Right.
So someone can come and they could. I don't know about arrows. I think you just, the multi-purpose field, you look over and you read it and you say, wow, and you kind of get a sense of
Right.
the history of the whole place. So anyway, there you go.
Ed, we were discussing what the wording should be on the sign to enter the field. And I know there's been many discussions about that. My feeling was, you, Patrick, Tom, the original crew that was on the committee had some different ideas about that. So I was just trying to make sure that we touch base with everybody on that, what the wording should be. I know one time too, we talked about, you'd have the names of the parts of the field, the track, the tennis courts, the soccer field, and then on the back side, maybe that where the whole history could be. Someone looked on the back side of it, and I was using the conservation one that Richard made for you guys. It was a nice way because they do the same thing there, and maybe place it, where they put the new stones in by the parking lot, because you'd see it from both ways coming in.
Mhm.
How do you want to handle that? I mean, I don't mind if we could, I don't mind talking with Ed, Patrick, anybody else on the committee with different ideas and get their feelings on it and just write it up and get a design the next time and then go from there. Because I do think it's something we should get done, because if we're going to start another project, you want to make sure you get that one done and over with. So anyhow, anybody else got a feeling on it?
So, yeah, I mean, I'm in favor of putting a sign up. For clarification purposes, it would speak about the track, the field, the tennis court.
That's
Not
correct.
necessarily the walking path. We're not adding, because they already have their own signage, correct?
The walking path doesn't really have a sign, but there was 3 dedications. It was the Darrell Harvey, his is the walking path, basically. Okay, on
Right.
Veterans Field. The tennis court was for Jim Waddell, and the soccer field was Mr. Hayes. Because he was behind not letting that. They wanted to put the fire barn there one time, and he fought it and said he should keep it for recreation. So that's what's there. And again, if you look at the sign on Peckham Road, which I've checked a couple of times, I just like the way that was, because it explains everything in the front, and then there was a thing in the back. And it wasn't, it was really done well, I thought, I'm not trying to put
It does
pressure on
have
Richard or
the,
anybody else, but I just thought that looked really nice, and I think it would look nice. Where we used to put the portage on, which you can't put anymore there because of the well, where that paved place is there, right in there, because now where they put the stones, you've got people coming in, they would see that no matter which direction they came from, and anyhow. I'm not sure what the cost would be. I think that's just something we should get done and get it over with and make it look nice.
So it wouldn't be the Dunberry Brook Trail entrance. It's going to be in that parking lot.
It would be at the begin, when you come in from either side of the parking lot, if you go towards I know what I call the long jump pit, because that's where I was for many years. But there's a paved spot right there, right behind that. I think would be a nice area. It's kind of where they put the tree in for, Miss Virginia Peckham, just to the right of that. I thought that would look nice, but, and again, I don't mind spearheading that, because I think that's really something that has to get done.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
As far as
Dan. We
discussion,
should get that done.
yes.
Sorry, Dan.
Go ahead, Dan.
That was it. Just echoing the same thing that Ed had to say.
All right, then I can't make a motion because I'm the committee chair, right? Or can I?
No.
Yes, you
can?
can make a
All right.
motion.
I'll make a motion that we talk to past members of the committee, get some wordage set up, and then go from there to make a design.
Well, we move that you'll talk to the past members.
That's correct. Yes,
Okay.
I'll talk to the past members, get their feeling on it. And then I think we should put it on the agenda for the next time, so we can okay the, what we'll do with the sign, get it done in the February meeting, and then we can get a design made and go for it.
Okay.
Second that.
All right, it's been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, so I'll make sure I put that on my notes so I don't get my homework not done. Homework, there we go. All right. Discussion, number 4, discussion and vote Little League stand, maintenance and repair, materials and labor. I was very lucky today to run into Colin Massa. I don't know if people are aware what was going on during COVID. There was a bunch of the 20-year-olds, some 30-year-olds started playing softball because they needed something for recreation. Now, they talked to the Little League. Little League finally acquiesced to letting them take down the net. And then when they were done, put it back up. It worked out pretty well. I know I stopped by a couple of times when they were playing. They had to be 15 to 20 young adults, playing softball, which I thought was great. Obviously they had to mix and match stuff because now there's no more Pony League field, but they seem to do well with it. And then they contacted Patrick, who contacted me, saying they wanted to help out and fix the shed. And they're volunteering their time. It's just the materials. I went down there with him today, Colin Massa. It's kind of falling apart. There's a window up top that needs to be repaired. All the shingles, they were thinking of replacing the side and the roof shingles. Now, the question I have for people is, I was going to talk to Little League if we approve this and say, okay, why don't we go 50-50 here? Rec committee do 50%. The Little League do 50% because they use it more than anybody else. But it's been used by all kinds of town. The 8th grades use it for fundraisers when we had the 4th of July stuff going on. So it's kind of a thing. And plus, we don't want it to be an eyesore because it's really getting kind of beat up. They have volunteered their time. They just need help with the materials. I met with Colin today. His price range, and I'm not a carpenter or anything like that. He was thinking 10 bundles of shingles for the outside of the building. I forget how many bundles he told me for the roof, but they are cedar shingles. Now, obviously, you could go with tar, but if you do that, it doesn't look the same as the Brownell house and stuff like that. So I just thought, sitting on the commons, it might still be best to stick with cedar shingles. He estimated that to be like $22,000, a little more than that because of the footage. So anyhow, he was looking at materials anywhere between $4,000 and $5,000. That was all the shingles to replace 2 windows and do the roof, and then paint all the edge board. And again, the labor is free. So he didn't have a firm price on that. He was going to get that for me as soon as he could. He was even talking, they were going to do it in April. He goes, Mr. Mack, we'll do it when we have preseason. We're out there, warming up on a Sunday. So I just kind of started laughing. He goes, and we're all carpenters because it's him, the Atkins boys, the Canaan boys, so I don't know. If you go by there and you look at that, it's a mess. So I think if once we get final prices, again, we'll have to put that on next month's agenda because he didn't have firm prices for me. I think we should ask the town to try to do that. And in the meantime, I can check with the Little League to see if they'd be more than willing to help out with half the price. So again, that's my feeling on that. And I looked at it today extensively, and it's pretty messy. So especially the window up top, that's not done pretty soon. And the whole building's going to start falling down, it looked like. So anyhow.
So we're gonna get a contract on that?
I would assume basically we'll get a pricing from him. He was going to price out the shingles. He was going to price out the shingles for the side, the shingles for the roof, and the 2 windows. So once we get that, like he said, and Richard probably can confirm this, they're just having a hard time getting shingles. I was walking Briggs Beach today. They can't get any shingles at Briggs Beach to do the sheds, and they ordered them months ago. So again, He said what they give you a price today might change in 2 months. That's why when he told me the price, I said, let's just make it anywhere between 4,000 and 5,000. Then it gives us leeway one way or the other. But again, I look at it, you're gonna get free labor. When else are we gonna get that? And they want to do it because they want to say thank you for letting them use the field. Rita,
Mr. Mack,
Yeah.
I'm just curious, since we're looking at this structure, is there any maybe ideas about looking inside and seeing if there's any inside repairs that the free labor could look at?
well, it's funny you say that because on the side of the building, Rita, there's also a storage area where I think the Little League puts some of their equipment, the liners and all that kind of stuff. The other side is more of a concession stand. But again, I think at this point, if you don't fix the outside, we're not going to get very far with the inside, And I said,
I completely, I love the idea, and I love how you're keeping it in the local flavor, so it will look indigenous and lovely. But I'm just thinking, is there anything inside that might need a look at?
okay, well, what I can do when I talk to, when I talk to the Little League, because they're the one that has the key, I don't have a key for it. I can probably meet with them because I told Colin what I like to try to do is go back there again with him, with a representative from the Little League, look at it,
Yeah.
make sure they're all set with it, with the prices that he gives me, and then come back to you guys and say, okay, this is where we stand. What do you think? And then we send we approve it, then we send it up to the town council to have those monies used based on that. But that's my feeling. Again, if anybody has any ideas on it, please speak up. But it does need some work. There's no question about that. And I would imagine maybe inside, there was a couple of rotted boys that he thought he might be able to save. Then he was looking at us, and we didn't go inside. We just looked at everything from the outside. But again, so
Might as well look at the whole thing.
I'd like to make a motion then again that we put that on for the next meeting. We'll discuss and vote on the price for the repair of the shed. And hopefully by then we'll have a thing from Colin. He did stop by today, so I think he's kind of on it now. And like I said, he was thinking they were going to do it in April, but we'll see what happens. And again, that would have to make sure if we do approve this, that they don't interfere with Little League when Little League's going on. Even if it had to be wait till July or August or whatever, but at least get it done. So I think we should just table that to the next meeting. That would be my
Dave,
motion.
Mr. McGregor, will you speak with the Little League folks then, just to make sure they're?
Yes,
kind
I
of
am
on
gonna,
board?
I got that down here. My notes again, that I'll speak with the Little League, yes. And I think Mr. Obashan is the head of that now. It was Brendan McKinnon, but I think it's, I always forget Mr. Obashan's first name. But I think Pat?
Scott,
Scott, I think Scott's the head of it now. So I will touch base with him before the next meeting and then hopefully get some prices from Colin and be able to get back to you on that. Okay?
Dave, if you want, I can reach out to Scott. He's actually my neighbor. So
Okay.
if you'd like, I can intervene and help out a little bit. It's your call.
If you want to do that, that'd be great, Ed, and just tell them what we're thinking of doing.
Sure.
And if they'd be willing to help out with half the price, whatever. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that, Ed.
You're welcome.
And just to speak with them about, hey, what else about on the inside as well?
Yeah.
We got a free labor pool.
Absolutely, yeah, that's a great idea. I'll go down there and meet with him down there. I think I still have keys to that shed, to that building too. So yeah, we'll look into it and see what we can do.
All right, thank you very much. And I'll take care of the other side with Colin. All right?
Okay.
So we'll
Sounds good.
table that for a discussion again on the February meeting. All those in favor, aye?
I don't think we have to
Aye.
vote on tabling.
Do I have to make a motion on that? Just to table it?
I think Patrick might have had a
Oh, I'm
comment.
sorry. You want to let him speak?
He's on mute.
Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Rita.
Yes, Patrick.
I think that's a wonderful idea. I think $5,000's cheap. And if you can get a Little League to kick in half, that's a no-brainer.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
Aye.
number 5. Review, and this is more of a discussion, what it looks like. And again, I'm getting new at this, so I want to make sure everybody has knows what's going on. So number
You're doing a
5
great
was
job.
review Recreation Committee quorum needs regarding representatives, members from the Planning Board and Beach Commission. Obviously, Richard made it tonight. I did touch base with Billy Ryan this morning. He's more than willing to stay on, and he apologized for not making enough meetings. So I said, Billy, we want you. And I kind of said to him, like, it's important for you to be there because we had a discussion the last time about what we were responsible for. And said it's not the beach commission or not the beach because there's a beach commission that's elected. So I said, it'd be good to have your perspective. So he did say he wanted to stay on as a member. Obviously, Richard's here tonight. So I think we got our bases covered with those two. So again, that was kind of more of a discussion thing for the agenda, unless anybody else has something to say on that issue.
No, it's just
I have no
helpful.
problem with either one of them. And like I said, it's great having Richard now, especially if we do get the grant. Along with Ed. Ed, I got so nervous. I'm in Chicago and Michelle calls me or texts me and says, we're losing a member. We're getting a new member. I said, what? And then of course my wife says, call Ed. I said, I'm not gonna call Ed. I'm in Chicago. I didn't realize your term was up. So, but I'm glad you're staying on, especially if we get the tennis court done. Anyhow,
Happy to
so
do it.
that was just the information on that. So I don't think there's any more further discussion on that. I don't even think we have to vote on it. It was just more of an informational thing and something I had to do and Michelle had to do. Anybody got any future agenda items for next month, which is the February 25th meeting, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, no, February 28th. We meet on the 28th the next time, and we'll do that again at 6:30 because
Yeah.
Michelle likes that. And between Michelle and Dan, anything they want, as far as I'm concerned, they get because they're doing all the paperwork. So Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, we spoke about it before the meeting started about the Ponderosa. I think we should put that on the agenda. I reached out to Nick Hurley. We haven't connected yet, but it would be interesting to find out the history and who does what. I don't catch fish. I've never caught a fish. I don't ice skate. So I don't either one of those things. But I think it would be interesting to find out why it is in such disarray. And I'm sure a lot of people in the town want to see it back to where it was.
All right, so what we'll do is we'll put that on for an agenda for next time, Michelle. The
Yeah,
Ponderosa
okay.
for ice skating.
Yeah.
Just a little background for maybe Michelle, someone that hasn't been in town for a long time. Many years ago, the town even put up a light down there, and it's still on the pole.
Wow.
And Mike Fort, way back when Mike was still living in town, they would get down and turn it on at night, especially at a time like now when there's ice, so people could skate easily. There was years when they used to just park the cars, turn the headlights on so they could skate. I don't know the specifics of why it doesn't get cleaned out anymore. I know the Conservancy is in charge of that one, I think, or is that the preservation?
Preservation. Yeah, it's the kind of
And they own
preservation.
it now. They bought the rights from the Camara family. But again, it's a great spot to ice skate when it is doable because it's shallow, it's safe, it's right off the main road, it's seeable. Some kids are not hanging out in the pond, down in the woods someplace. And it's abnormal when you think about it because this is the first time in a long time we've had over 2 weeks of straight skating. If you had a pond that you could skate on.
Yeah. The beauty, the absolute beauty of the Ponderosa is that if you're unsure the ice is unsafe, just put your phone in your breast pocket, because you're not going deep. So you could send your kids down there and you never really need to worry because if they're going through, they're knee deep in mud.
Yeah.
I've been skating a regular skate on the Ponderosa now for 25 years. And in the last 10 years or so, and I'm only going on memory, we've lost a little bit of here and there. This year it's unskateable. It's literally unskateable. And I don't know, and I skate on there a lot, and I don't know if it's an issue of low water or if it's an issue where they haven't done the Phragmites dredging. And I think some Phragmites dredging in the past may have been maybe not SBA overseen, and they just dredge out any of the stuff that prevented skating.
Carol
I'll
has sent us a message. She
Yes,
said the
I
state
saw-
limit what they can do. And the SPA can probably tell
Yeah.
us particulars.
Yeah. And I think
I'll
that's
reach out.
something. Is there anybody who wouldn't mind checking out with the SBA to find out exactly?
got
how
that.
it's gonna- You want to do that, Dan? All right, and then we'll put
Absolutely.
that on the agenda. We'll put that on the agenda for the next time.
Okay.
Because again, I mean, you think about a great recreational place, especially for the winter. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a fisherman
Not
either.
you.
Pat,
Nobody's
but
there.
that would be great. So, all right. Anybody else got an idea for the next agenda other than what we've already talked about? But just so you guys know, before we put the agenda together, Michelle and I usually get together and we talk about what we think should be on there. So if you come up with something like the week before, just give us a call or give her a call and we can get it put on there. Yes, Patrick.
You want to inform the committee,
I lost you again.
you want to inform the committee about the women's basketball at.
Oh,
school.
yeah. Okay. We have two more additions, and I just took care of them today. The use of the gym is some young women, they're gonna start playing basketball on Sunday nights. They just finished filling out their form today. And there's gonna be a group of guys using men's league or whatever. Jason Brow, who's coaching the boys basketball team now at the school, is gonna run a program on Monday night. His form hasn't been put in yet, so I didn't okay it. I was in school today, so I will take care of that and just make sure they have a custodian, especially for the Sunday night one, and then they go from there. But that's where, so right now the gym's will be being used on Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and Fridays. And if, obviously if anybody else needs it for any reason, a program they like to run, as long as they're a taxpayer in town and live in town, and we can get a custodian, that's more than welcome to do it. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Other than that, I think we're pretty well set. Anybody
Cool.
got anything else?
No, it's great.
I don't do well in these Zoom meetings. I'd much rather see all your faces in personal space. Well, at that point, anybody want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll
anybody?
second.
All right,
Second.
and we'll see you guys on the 28th. And again, if you have anything that comes up, Dan, you're in charge of taking care of the Ponderosa. I'll check with the Colin Massa, and Ed, you'll check with Scott about the
Yep.
Little League, okay?
Absolutely.
All right. Have a great night, guys. Thank you very much.